get CC'd, and your ultimate is more of a utility spell, even though you can still finish off a lot of opponents. So I still see a lot of possibilities that Crownie can just position himself really far away from the fight, but still add to it and make sure that Nemesis can just take completely over.
Not blocked, so this is a completely different speed for Los Ratones. They've clearly tried to shake things up and trying to get things back going their way before this quickly becomes an 0-2 down best of 5.
Oh yeah, they've done themselves a little bit of a 180 right here, trying to change things up, and I think they needed to. The last game was poor. Everything went wrong from the very beginning of that game, and they were never able to claw their way back into this one. Supermassive, they have gone for a similar style for themselves. A little bit crazy, though. We were like, wait, where's the Ambessa going? Where's the Kennen going? Things have definitely changed up a little bit for them, too. And it really is going to be on Los Ratones to change not just the draft, but the outcome of this game.
Absolutely. I do like the pivots that they've made, I must say. I'm a big fan of Nemesis Rise. I think it's a great pick into things like Wukong and Ambessa. You can lock down those tricky movement-based characters. And then we've got the BAUS VOLIBEAR. We've got the Classic. The fact that it has been matched up into a Kennen.
Getting a great view of why all of this tomfoolery has been happening, because Armor should just be able to push BAUS around. When you fully get the engage, you could take a decent chunk out. But Armor is just going to be able to sit in this one, keep trying to push BAUS back. With the level 6, it's a little bit easier. They have been able to mitigate the worst bit, which is the early levels.
This is going to come in with a flash and the stun. The exhaust there to keep Fiesta locked down, but a flash for the Ambessa will keep the Supermassive mid laner alive as we cut back to top lane. He's got level 6! First blood for the Volibear! After all of that nonsense, he just wins the range matchup anyway?
Oh, that's fortunate right there for Armor. Doesn't quite hit the 6. What did we say? So much moving around back and forth leaves him just a little bit behind in XP. Goes in for a kill. Would have totally gotten it if the BAUS wasn't just a little bit closer to that level 6. Ticks it, gets the ulti, and all of a sudden Stormbringer comes on down, gets that initial.
And
he's a little guy.
Not looking, yeah, kind of needs to hit the gym a little bit more to try and take that 1v1. But the M. Night Shyamalan twists of this early game, back and forth we go, straight into the Volibear first kill. Los Ratones really need some of that energy. They needed this game to start off right and stop themselves kind of falling into a bit of despair if the series was going to go too badly. Grub's picked up by Supermassive jungler.
And back and forth.
Both junglers arriving in the bot side. Now, has an ultimate.
Oh, he missed!
Carry misses the E, but the stuns are still there. Speed is around the corner. Velia, even with the engage being semi-fluffed, cannot save the Los Ratones jungler. The Alistar ultimate soaking up the damage, and it takes off the Reckless to get back to the tower, but cannot stay alive. Crownie now doesn't get the stuns he wants, and Carry will still fall as Nemesis TP's in. Hurt the pull comes out the rise to look for another target as in top lane. The ults are being dropped, stuns are being layered, the slowdown, and BAUS is just taking bites out of Armor. Bow falls to Nemesis, and Los Ratones scrap their way back in the extended play.
Oh, NLC rejoice. It doesn't look like it's just going to be a complete collapse right here from Los Ratones. They're fighting in this game. The second solo kill top lane. And right now, another little bit of pressure being put down from Los Ratones. You can see they're so confident on the map at the moment. Just completely taking over this one. And it doesn't seem like all of the movement early on has harmed too many of these players, especially not on Los Ratones' side. They're going to be able to move up right here and pick themselves up the rest of these grubs. It's going to be 3 for 3 on those. May well be trading it back for Drake, as it looks like BAUS, as much as he's had a better early game, this is going to be tricky to get away from.
Okay, this is more what I expected, I'll be honest. Deep up in the bot side, and Bao and Carry have got there. This time, Carry will not miss the Zenith blade. BAUS was up, he keeps himself alive, but the cooldown is just a little too long in this early stage. Nemesis is in by 3 members on the top of his head. And the kill goes over to Skeens, Crowdy, and Reckless not in range to help.
That's a bad TP, just complimenting Nemesis, and feels a bit like after a couple of iffy moments down in this bottom side. That's what I was hoping to see out of Bao and Carry, though. This is a very powerful bot lane, the sort of bot lane you can barely get away from. It's tricky enough to get away from Ash and the Leona separately. Together, they're almost... it's just miserable trying to get away from these two. But actually, they haven't been able to use it too much. Crownie, Reckless, they've been very good so far at spacing it out. As long as the first auto attack, from Bao hits, that's all you really need. So he's going to look to take away this blue buff. Could potentially get collapsed upon a little bit. Quite a lot of members in the area.
aggressive move by Reckless. Out comes the Ash Arrow, and Reckless is still suffering. Doesn't have the ultimate as well. He's managed to flash back as well. The ultimate. I held a lie right there, but Failure is now in. Stuns off the schemes as BAUS is getting crushed by Crowny right here. One more Mystic Shot. There it is! Crowny traded back by the Wukong. Shutdowns about on both sides. I lost my entire understanding of what champion ability names were there, but ultimately, I think Supermassive are okay with this.
Yeah, I think they're just about going to be happy with this one. The fact that you get a kill on Crowny there, I don't know, full... I don't even know. Everything is fine for him at the moment.
Not so fine for Fiesta right now as the combo is coming through. The slows and the roots are always there. He looks like he's just about survived. The Jin ult's coming through, and Nemesis ready to pick up the pieces right there. Successful play on the side lane, and Supermassive could not stop it.
No, and this is exactly what you want to be doing right here. Even through that nice enchanted crystal arrow to at least slow things down. So very tricky to get away. We're talking about how difficult it is to run away now. Getting chased by an angry bear. He's alright.
Doesn't quite get caught up, but now Supermassive comes back. He actually wants to engage and forces the ult from BAUS. BAUS looking for to attack to engage with Supermassive. They are doggedly chasing down the Volibear, and they'll find their kill.
The TP coming in from Fiesta doesn't particularly, Fiesta doesn't particularly end in anything too much for him. But you're still going to be able to pick up that kill, get yourself a little bit of priority to head on towards this Herald. And actually goes in here.
The ultimate onto Crowny, maximum range, and Belly around the corner can maybe keep alive. Carry looking for an angle here, hits the Zenith Blade. Crowny has to cleanse away.
Ignite, he's going to get the kill.
Down, and Leona gets it done. Nemesis flashing in onto Fiesta, secures one. BAUS now without much mana has to deal with the rise. Dispels, machine gunning out as Carry is being 2v1. Flash of BAUS, trading autos isn't enough. Leona ult secures the shutdown, and Los Ratones will get one of their own back. It is messy, it is crazy in the mid lane.
Oh, I mean, in the end, right, it's the Herald that you're able to pick up for yourselves, but because you lose out on that team,
hold on to his own turret thus far, and Los Ratones stepping up to an uncontested Hextech Drake. This puts them on third Drake point themselves. BAUS switched on into armor, cannot quite secure it as Nemesis would have been able to solve that equation for them, but now Massive coming through the jungle. In they come, Nemesis just pieces out without a second thought, and BAUS is left with the dogs. Down goes the turret, in comes the stun. Schemes is on a rampage.
Just going to be able to get a little bit more gold for the team, but with the Rift Herald coming down into the middle lane, let's see what Supermassive can get back for themselves. They're hankering for a fight right now. They're going to be able to catch this very tanky Leona though.
By Schemes, but the shields come through, keep him alive for now, and now Schemes is more or less on his own. Reckless gets slowed down and stunned. Vesta coming in deep, wants the kill on the rise, and Fiesta gets himself some revenge, barely slipping away as the stun cancels the Jin ultimate. Armut is in to keep the kills flowing in for Supermassive as BAUS coming around the corner. Carry trying to get himself onto Crowny. He still has a turret to stand by, and the Volibear looking for a way in. Already though, it's a 3 versus 5. It's not looking great for RATONES. They have to back away.
And without the jungler available right here, they're gonna lose out onto the Atakan. Huge plays for Supermassive after what was a little bit of an iffy early game. Being able to claw their way back into this one just a little bit. It's at least being traded back for some damage onto the tier 2 in the mid lane by BAUS. The issue was, Los Ratones, they go in, they get a pick, but it's on Carry. And Carry right now is very tanky already. Not the champion that you want to be blowing all of your
2 seconds. But a bit more gold secured by Supermassive and get those items on deck. Now BAUS is really not enjoying this 1v1 right now. Still gets the shield, gets the heal, and Schemes is there.
The arrow hits.
Connects though. BAUS with a beautiful Ash Arrow. BAUS ulting in, but it cannot keep him. BAUS in the area. Could be a full 5v5 blowout. As out comes the Ash ult. The stun falling up as well. Full dive onto Bellis to get the smite off the table. Armut is in, doesn't find a good target, but they still got the smite down.
That's the kill that you need. If you're only going to be able to take down one, then it's the jungler you want it to be. Straight onto the Drake goes Supermassive. They're going to be able to pick this one up uncontested, and there really isn't anything else for Los Ratones to get across the rest of the map. The key thing is not just the fact they get Velia in that team fight, but it's that Crowny and Nemesis have to go...
Yeah. And they do have another game after this. If they are to go down 0-2, it will not be over. We're into the best of 5 portions. Armor gets stunned up. Nemesis around the corner. Doesn't quite get the root though, and Schemes is there. Where's still the shutdown, and Schemes comes around the corner. BAUS not looking super healthy. Has a flash if he needs it. And finally, a little bit of a clean kill for Los Ratones there.
Yeah, what can they turn this into? 50 seconds until...
You've got that same summon but for critical safety to try and get away from that bursty engage that you mentioned, blocks, and here it comes. Crowley gets away first, Reckless leads the front line, Velia trying to soak up what he can, but where are the carries from Los Ratones? Nemesis is around the corner fighting out Bao, should be able to get the Ash down as Velia falls again, but Armut arrives just in time. The superhero flying in as Bao steps away with a sliver of HP, and again Los Ratones in the team fight cannot make it work. Bao's around the corner, looking to hold up the backline of Supermassive. Fiesta actually the first shutdown. Crowley again lives, drops the Kermit call. If they can get the execute, there could be a way for Los Ratones to play this out. Bao's with the shield, he needs to get the heals. Bao is still very low. Crowley gets another. The Baus drops the ultimate, and here's the long team fight, Bloxer. This is what we said, and the Ratones come out on top.
Exactly, Trajan. Long team fights, surviving carries to get into the later stages of it, and Crowley, Bowser between them just beautiful, but more than that, Reckless buying so much space for his members, and they're gonna be able to get themselves this final Drake. Hard-fought, difficult team fight. NLC rejoice, because this one was
a series where they could have crumbled, they could have lost all of what they had, but now Nemesis is getting engaged on Supermassive. They're not done yet. They've not forgotten that the game has not ended, and they found the isolated Rise. They get one kill. Crowley stepping up, looks for more of the Fiesta. GB in from Baus. Look out for the tower. He goes up to the Armut on the flash, stymies up the answer for Los Ratones, and it's a second kill for Supermassive.
That's the thing, as much as you can heal a ton on this Volibear, you have to be able to get those W's off in order to be able to do so. Isn't able to, just stand up. Armut plays that one out brilliantly. Couple kills go on down. The fact that everybody from Supermassive
always fall short too early. They're at risk of doing so again if they lose control of this series, but right now, they are not to be slowed down. Nemesis again falls up. They missed one stun, but they hit the second, and the Rise is dead again.
Oh man, that just looked like such a funny little play where everybody is stood around. Nemesis has no clue what is happening. If he did, I'm sure he would have tried to at least use the ulti or something to get on out of there.
Play, Los Ratones peel back into the river. They still have the ward behind the Dragon Pit. They've got the pink there in the Pixel Brush. But it is very, very tense right now. Supermassive finally got a bit of confidence in stepping into the river.
Start this one up nice and slow still. Fiesta nowhere nearby. There's the engage.
Leona, they're trying to get the threat off the board before they can, but Schemes over the wall, forces the flash away from Crowley. They've managed to get the Leona, and where is the flash from Armut? Flashing in! There are the stars! The slicing Maelstrom is devastating for Los Ratones! Bao still gets some kills on the backside, and Velia can barely survive. Bodies everywhere in the jungle as the Volibear hunts down the Wukong. Cannot find the slow, gets a shield for himself. Fiesta and Schemes trying desperately to hold this bear at arm's length. But that fight just explodes in the area. Velia's not even alive yet. He doesn't have the ultimate. We're just going for this. Los Ratones is just going for this.
With the Hextech gates, you can do this, but everybody's going to be able to get back involved pretty soon. It's dropping quite fast, though.
Arrow does not connect with anybody. No one's going to get slowed up. Reckless with a double knockout. Velia around the corner. Crowley with the 4-shot secure. And it's down for Los Ratones. But is it enough to win the fight off the back of it? Schemes is going to get executed. Crowley chased down, but Nemesis, finally Nemesis is able to unload. And Supermassive have to back away. Fiesta trading down with Velia. The Pantheon barely survives. Armut caught up, but the Rise is inevitable. Double kill for Nemesis. And round 2 goes for the Rats.
Never mind, I shouldn't be questioning what BAUS is doing. They just step up, know they can start taking this one, and it's just unfortunate the carry doesn't quite spot it out in time. Even when they do, it's a little bit too late. The second that Elder goes down, gets picked up by Los Ratones, the fight is won. It was tricky enough even without that massive buff, and with the death timers as long as they are at the moment, Los Ratones, they are going to take us to 1-1 in this series. They're not going down 0-2. They're not worried about this one.
Oh my goodness, Bloxer. Can you say cinema? This game to 39 minutes, 23-21 as the Nexus falls. Los Ratones hold on with their fingernails, fight back in the Elder fight, and take the victory to even up. That